Welcome back everyone to the build of the CR90 Corvette, or better known as a Rebel Blockade runner, or 10-4, not 5 like I said in the previous video, or the Falcon, the regional Falcon concept that Ralph McQuarrie did way back in 76, 77. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just show how all the parts fit together. I have primed all the main sections so you can see it easier. So I'm just going to show how it fits together. It fits together very well with, I think, minimal glue and a couple of screws. So first things first, I'll work from the back to the front and just show how it all fits together. So let's go with the engines first. So you get 11 of these engines, very similar, but they only go in one direction, so you shouldn't have any issues getting them the wrong way around. All the nozzles just slide into the rear end. Okay, there is opening for lighting, so you can glue it in or you can just leave it in loosely. They will sit so they don't fall out once sanded down. It's your choice how tight you want to make them. If they're too loose, you can add extra fill around the edge to make it sit tighter. Okay, so there's one central engine which has nothing, no detail on it. It's smooth on the sides, and that fits into this mount, which goes into the back of your printed part. And as I mentioned before, this needs to be sanded down and then filled with I used Maya filler. You can use a similar product, and then sand it down till it's smooth. The joints or the angles are not where the part goes in, but along the seam of the plating. Okay, there are gaps in this where you can fit your detail, which are printed parts. Okay, this one's an optional piece. You can close it up, or you can put, I would add it to the kit, but the original model does not have this, so I'm not sure if it fell off, if it's supposed to be there or not, but the option is to add it. If not, just smooth it out. Okay, so basically this piece, your central mount, fits into the back of the printed part, and where it is down is facing forward. Okay, and the white piece is on top, and the better way to see is the indentation is the top one, and the round clip. So this basically fit in one direction. You'll see which one fits best. Sits flush. Okay, and then you get your central pipe, which holds a whole lot together. And you get 3 pieces. You get 2 5 centimeter or 2 inch with a connector. These are 25 centimeters each. So what's 25? That's 5 inches. Okay, and then one short 4 centimeter, or I don't know what the inches is, but that goes into the head. Okay, so these two fit into one another. So with this on there, this actually slides into this and clips into that section on the other end. Okay, and then there is a hole, so you drill through and you tap it, and there's screws provided to screw this into there. So this screw will also hold your left and right engine's mount. Okay, as it goes in. So the red one goes in all the way, and then you screw it right through both so it holds it in. Okay, and then everything basically clips into this. So that's your central engine. Okay, so let's now go for the top. Okay, and it only goes in one way. Top being, like I said, the indentation shows the top, so this only goes in one way. Okay, it won't go in the side. Right, so it goes in, and once you've cleared this out, you can do light sanding around the edges. It has to clip into the lower ends. Oh, where's the camera? You see the indentation around this. So it goes in and goes flush. So it actually goes right into it. Okay, Then your engine comes, your top one with a detail piece. Okay, comes and slides in. Some of them are loosish, so you can add filler around the edge to help hold it tighter. Okay, adjust the camera. Okay, so there it goes. The top ones are the ones with the little knobs that stick up. The lower one is smooth around the edge. Okay, so you can screw your side mounts in and then add these afterwards. Okay, you can do the whole thing without these engines on. It'll probably be lighter. Okay, because they're not sticking permanently. And you can add them all on and then screw it in. You can see at the back over here there is 4 holes. 2, 3, 4. So once you have this in with this piece not on, you can screw a hole through the mount, and then you'll tap through this piece and then screw it in. These do not need to be screwed in my opinion. I've tested it. They're very, very tight. Don't fall out. Even the bottom one. If I add the bottom one in, the angle just won't allow it to fall. But if you want it more permanent or more stable, then go ahead and screw right through the parts and it'll be very tight. Okay, so that's the engines explained. What I'm going to do now is move on to get rid of these on the side. Okay, so this section, your rear body has 2 large parts. Okay, and these are actually made to clip into another, and you need to glue them together. Okay, so the lower end has all the detail pipes and the hatch, which is actually originally designed for the Falcon. And then the large open section at the bottom is the lower section. That's where your printed part goes in. And these two simply just clip together. Okay, and it fits very, very well. So you can glue it, and if you like, you can put filler around the edge. That's up to you. You might not even need it. Okay, so once this is in, okay, let's take this off for now for space. You'll see the top one has this little pipe. It fits over these mounts. You'll see the flat end and flat end on the inside. Clip on, and it actually slides into these grooves. Okay, so there your body is holding the printed part. So on this, the reason why there's little lips on the inside is there's now a space over here for you to drill a hole through, and on the bottom. So you drill a hole through, and you can tap it, and you can stick a screw in. The screw does not even need to be tapped, to be honest. All it's there is to do is to prevent this from sliding off. So that screws right through your pipe. It's very important, because if you do not hold the pipe and weight goes to the front, the whole thing will slide apart and the model will fall apart unless it's glued together. Okay, so with this all the way in, because it sits very snugly inside the main section, and it comes through to the back where your rear end sits. Okay, so once you have it in and everything lined up, mark on the model, on the pipe, your orientation, so you can line these holes up. So once everything's lined up, then you screw your hole all the way through, and you can tap it if you like, and then put it in. I'm going to provide nuts that you can add to the bottom if you like to glue the nut on the bottom, because there's no way to get inside to hold the nut, so it has to be glued onto the body. Okay, so now this is too short to hold the whole body. Pretty obvious. So you get a second one with a connector. So with this piece on, this has to be glued together. So this onto here. Okay, if this is not secured, boom, your model will fall apart, same as if this wasn't secured. Okay, so the way this should work is stack your model horizontally, straight up, and then slide your pipe in from the top with this glued on, screw it in, and then add everything on. Okay, because this has a space inside. You can see it from, I'll show you from the back. This section here is the thickness of the pipe, so this connector will not fit through. Okay, the connector that holds the two pipes together. So you might ask, well, why don't I provide a single pipe? Well, space, because if I add a single pipe of 1/2 meter, the box will be bigger and then the price of postage will increase, and I'm trying to keep things cheaper so it can compact. Okay, so with this off, let's imagine the engines are on. So now this is now one piece with this part on, the right way around. Can you adjust the camera? Now this piece, if it was one glued together part, let's slide all the way down through the whole lot right onto the bottom. Okay, then screw in, and this whole, let me show you, screw in, then the whole lot will stay together. This pipe will be one piece. Well, it's glued together. Okay, now for this section over here, there is a printed ring, okay, which slides over the top and prevents this from moving around. So you can glue it onto the plastic pipe. Once you got your orientation, mark it and then take it apart and then slide it in and glue it, or use epoxy if you want. Slide it in and then just epoxy around the edge. Okay, so I'm going to take this apart, but imagine it's still together, because there's not a lot of space here for the camera. Okay, so just with this section, so what happens now? Okay, let's imagine the oops, let me take that out. The connector. Okay, so next will be your central body. There is a top and a bottom. This being the top, this being the bottom. So this will be very easy fit. Bottom section has all the piping. This just slides with a little lip into there. Okay. And this one on the top. Now, before you actually do this part, there's two more printed parts. These are these two. Okay, so they are actually made to fit into the section. Once they're sitting flush and you've actually test fitted all the parts, then you glue them on. And you'll see they also have space for screws. So the whole thing has to be orientated, lined up. The pipes must be correct for the rear screws to go in and for these to go in. So then it'll secure the bottom, which secures the top. So as you can see, the top also has these pieces that are made to orientate to this, and it goes together. Okay. So in a bit of wrangling. Once it's glued in, it will be a lot better, but you can see it goes in. Okay, how's the whole thing together? Okay, this is where you glue parts on. Printed parts go around the edge, on the inside, the piping, etc. So if you want to now take your model apart, then this basically just slides out, and all your detail will be like this is an unpainted printed part for interest sake, will be glued on permanently to the side. Okay, and your piping and plates at the back. Okay, now the interior is made, the interior upgrade is made to fit in here, which I'll do a separate video for that on how to install it. Okay, so on these two, I'll take these away. Okay, the next section in front of this will be your rear body or your neck, which is, where is it? Okay, this piece. So you'll see it's got a gap over there and over there. So simply the bottom one slides into the bottom gap. Okay, I haven't sanded them nicely, there's a bit of a space, but it holds it. Okay, and the top one, self-explanatory, slides with a little area over here into that area, to the top one. Here's what I need to sand a bit more to get it in, but it'll go in, it'll slide in. So as you're doing your stack from the top, it's like stacking a starship. Elon Musk stacks his starship. You're stacking a runner, a CR90. Okay. So you are stacking a starship. So this is your neck area, and you'll see that these printed parts sit flush. They will sit flush with these open areas. So once you have everything in, take a top off and everything is lined up, then you drill your holes through here and tap right through into the plastic. I'll give you nuts again. You can glue the nut on the inside of the plastic somehow. Okay, over here it'll be quite short. Okay, this part gets a smaller pipe, and then you get a printed part which goes over the top. So all you do, it does not have to be glued. Just sand it down lightly. It must just fit quite tightly, and just hold it and just smack it in till it sits flush. You can add glue if you like, but this is like permanent. Okay, now once you've cleared this out, there will be bubbles on the inside. I think I explained that. Because of the mold, it's not an easy mold. So just use a Dremel, sand them out very lightly. There are some thin parts on this, which is over here. You'll probably see right through the resin. Okay, don't worry about it, because this goes inside. So this slides in very, very tightly and sits flush against the this little end piece. And this is flush over here. Now this is made for the piping. Let's take this body away. No space for this piping to sit around. So if I take this out, this actually goes inside the pipe. So this whole lot slides in. So you push this in, and once that's in, this slides in and holds the whole head. So you got this, you got your connector, and you got your rear end, which means this model is pretty bloody sturdy. You can hold it on the bottom, it'll probably hang backwards because of the weight. But this is strong stuff. Okay, I've been eyeing this for years, thinking I'm going to do a CR90 with this inside. And I've, well, eventually did it. Okay, so there's your strong piece. This could be a weapon. Okay, CR90 or hammer with a hammerhead. Okay, so your hammerhead, 2 parts, right, with a little knob on the bottom of the lower one, and you'll see on the top one there's little lugs. So these slides in and holds together. Okay, there's 2 spots over here. I'm not sure if you can see them, but you can just drill 2 holes or a single hole, and you can tap through into the plastic, into this pipe. So this actually, this little knob fits into this gap on the bottom. That just slides in, that goes underneath, that goes into the area over there, and there you go, it holds together. Look, no glue. Okay, so I put this whole model together without using any glue whatsoever. The only glue that I'm going to use is the put this part onto the main section to make it one. It ends up looking like this, one piece. So that's where I'm going to use glue. But other than that, that's how it goes. All your smaller sections go in. I'm not going to explain every little thing. I'll do it as I go along. But the build document will have all the information, a lot more photographs, and obviously I'll be available if you need help. So yeah, so that's the way it works. Couple of larger or smaller parts that I'll just show quick. On this over here, you get the two rings. This one holds the dish. Only goes in one direction because it's got a little gap with its nut facing forward. Glue that in. And your lower one, just sand them down so that they fit. And there's an option. You can add a 1-inch rod and screw all the way through into the pipe. And you can have a stand like the original model. Straight up. If you do this, fill up the edge with filler of some type, so that, because there's an open gap which might not be strong enough. So this must be solid inside. So maybe drill a hole through it and then glue it on, drill a hole through, pump it full of resin if you have that skill, and then sand it down and seal it. And then drill your hole all the way through the pipe. Make a contraption inside so it doesn't flop or anything, maybe just to make it more sturdy. Because I don't know how strong it's going to be. I haven't tried it. I'm not planning on doing it that way. You will be getting a clear stand, same as a Galactica, that will go on each end towards the rear end. Okay, and then you'll have to do the wood yourself for the stand, similar to the Galactica, which you can see on the right. Okay, the Galactica stand. Okay, so and then you get your side rings. Okay, and these go in onto the side. Orientation I'll show you in the build document. If you want to mount your ship through one of these, like they also had on the original model, then I will make a file available for free to have somebody print it for you, and then you can glue it in, and then you can just remove the detail piece, the docking ring, or the docking. The whole thing's a docking ring, but the inner section of the docking ring, and you can then insert a pipe, drill a hole right through, similar to the bottom. You're gonna have to make a contraption inside so it doesn't do this, and then you can mount it from the side. So you have the option bottom side, okay, and the stands, which I'll provide, the plastic, clear plastic. As for landing gear, I did not do it. I did consider it, but there's very minimal information out there on how the landing gear looks. From what I've seen, it's very thin, flimsy, and this model is over 6 kilograms, so I'm not going to take a chance, make something that's going to collapse. So by all means, go ahead and make, I'd like to see some people do a modification for the stand. So yeah, I think that's it for the how the basic parts fit together. And like I said, I'll do videos as I go along. While I'm on this, I'll just quickly show you these fins. Just looking at it over here, I've decided to do it. They only fit one way. The build document will have image showing top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. The lower ones are pretty obvious. The short one, and then you have a horizontal one. Okay, this is where the where is it? The Falcon's door opens. It stops at that area. You see, these fit very flush onto the rear part. Then this piece comes across and touches this horizontal fin. Okay, so those two are pretty obvious. I'm actually talking rubbish. This side. Okay. And then you get one that comes across all the way. And now if you glue these on, glue them on. If you're going to take the model apart, don't glue this onto the large flat sections. So this will basically be sticking up if you take it apart. They only go on one way, so you'll see that the way they fit onto the body. And you get your two top ones. I'm not doing the right ones now, I'm just guessing. But same over here. 1, 2. Okay, with the rear section on, you'll see it actually fits very, very well. That's why you need to glue it on, so you can glue it all as one piece. Okay. And then one more thing is, I'm going to just move to the rear section again. I actually forgot to mention this. I haven't painted these parts yet. These are all the detailed parts for the rear side engines. So that will go into these areas over here. And if you look at them, they all fit one way. The build document will have a detailed description of how it fits, but they only fit one way. So if you see a little like this one, I've marked them myself for my own reference. Left top, I can see this is a left engine because this slopes downwards. And you'll see if you look at it, the shapes, like this one has a little knob sticking out, and this one has a little indentation area. Okay, so this fits in there. This will not fit in anywhere else. Okay, same with the lower one. If I go left lower, that's right top, left bottom. Okay, same thing. Sticking out area. There's an area over there, and it only goes in one way. So you see with these that go into these areas, is they actually have overhangs. So if I go in front of left, right. Okay, this one. This is left top. Okay, it has an overhang. So do not sand this off. Okay, the build document will show what to do. But it's, as you, I think you can see over there, it has a overhang. So left top. This one goes here. I can see it's a left-hand one, and it only goes in one way, and it overhangs this one. Same with the bottom one. Left bottom. It's got a small overhang, and only goes in one way. Overhangs. Okay, there's one piece over here which you must take note of. This is the right bottom. There's a little pipe sticking out. There's my pointer. There's a small pipe sticking out. Okay, don't sand it off. If you do, then oh well, then it's gone. But that should be there. Okay, so that goes in and it serves for this pipe and it goes. Okay, and that's it. And then obviously you have all your other little sections that go in there. I'm not going to explain them all now, they're small parts. But I'm going to prime these now and then have them ready. So when I get back, I'll have a lot of things glued together. I'll glue the main part together, and then when I start assembling, I'll make another video. Okay, thanks a lot guys. Cheers.